Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. So now guys, it is my belief that these people are trying to create a conflict situation so that with that conflict they can seize as much of the southern lands as they can, and then once of course they've seized it, they will then claim it as spoils of war. It is also my belief that this belief that I've just described goes to the highest echelons of their society. Guys, I bring you this. Fulani Herdsman entered Wole Soyinka'S compound to search for missing cow. This is a headline attributed to the police, so you don't get more gold standard than that. You don't get more gold standard than that, because of course the police already belongs to the northerners anyway. So for them to make this admission, then it is virtually categorical. So what is a headsman doing in a Wole Soyinka'S compound is one thing, and why was he even able to enter is another thing, and where are the security apparatus that you'd expect to be around somebody of a Wole Soyinka'S profile is another thing. Again, the headline, Fulani Herdsman entered Wole Soyinka'S compound to search for missing cow, a headline attributed to the police. So now let's now see how this evolves. The police in Ogun State have reacted to a viral video claiming that Fulani herdsmen had invaded Professor Wole Soyinka'S house in Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital. In an attempt to set the record straight, the police said a young Fulani man, Awalu Mohammed, whose cow had got missing, entered Soyinka'S vicinity in search of the animal. While the Fulani man was searching for the stray cow around Kente Estate, where Professor Wole Soyinka'S house is located, the prof himself, who was going out then, saw the Fulani man with some cows, and he came down to ask where the man was heading with the cows. He there and then asked the Fulani man to move the cattle away from the vicinity. This police spokesman in Ogun State, Abimbola Oyeyemi, said in a statement, Oyeyemi said the DPO of Kenta Division, who heard about the incident, quickly moved to the scene with his patrol team. It was said that the entire place was inspected by the DPO, and it was established that it was just a case of a stray cow, saying that nothing was damaged or tampered with. It was therefore a thing of surprise to see a video trending on social media that the respected Professor Wole Soyinka'S house was invaded by Fulani herdsmen with a view to attack or kill him. The video is nothing but a calculated attempt by mischief makers to cause panic in the minds of people. There is nothing like invasion of Professor Wole Soyinka'S house or any form of attack on his person, he said. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, and this is the narrative that the supposed police in Ogun State are giving to us, the Yoruba people especially, and the entirety of Nigeria in particular, because Wole Soyinka, of course, is not only a Nigerian national asset, but an international figure. So this is now the narrative now that they are giving us in this high-octane situation, in this high-profile situation that we're in Nigeria. A person that is a very lost critic of the Buhari regime, who just now came out not quite a few days ago to criticize Buhari and to now make it categorically clear that Buhari does not have his backing, and to go on to describe him as incompetent and all whatnot. So this is the house of the person now that a stray cow is now being searched for in. So this, of course, is a reconnaissance mission by the Fulanis. There's absolutely no question about that. So this might well be the case that it was one Fulani boy claiming to be searching for a cow, and indeed a cow might even be found. But this in essence, and make no mistakes about it, this in essence is a reconnaissance mission. So that boy now and that cow has been sent to Wole Soyinka'S property. This is my belief. I'm not saying categorically, but this is my own perception of this whole narrative. So it is my perception that that boy and the cow has been sent to Wole Soyinka's premises to recce the place, to do a reconnaissance on the place, to survey and to assess and to test the response time of the security agencies to his presence there, and to also assess the level of security that is availed to Wole Soyinka. So what sort of personal security arrangement does the professor have himself? What sort of monitoring is it under by the Nigerian structure, and how easily accessible is he? So this boy now has been able to establish that with the cow and the boy, he can walk right up to the door of Wole Soyinka and engage him in a conversation, because this is of course what has happened. So now what is their next move is the next thing, and we cannot discount this as a possibility and say, oh, Wole Soyinka is too big an entity for them to go after. You only have to think back a little bit to recall what happened to Olufalaye, not once but twice. I think was even kidnapped in an instance. Now, Olufalaye was just a voting session away from being a Nigerian president, because this guy stood a very strong chance then of becoming Nigerian president, I think especially in 1999. So this is a person that was just a couple of steps away from the foremost seat in the country. So if somebody of his profile can be roughed up and brutalized by Fulani Herdsmen, then Wole Soyinka also, because Wole Soyinka is more or less in that bracket. Wole Soyinka might well rank a little bit higher than Olufalaye, because Wole Soyinka, of course, is a global colossus, but then, of course, we are still talking within the same bracket, really. A recognized name, elder statesman, people of a certain age and achievement. Olufalaye is a noted and celebrated economist, and Wole Soyinka is a noted and a celebrated playwright. So, of course, within the same brackets, given whatever margins you want to give them. So, going back, the idea that the police did not apprehend this boy, especially even if for the crime of trespassing, because certainly a crime of trespassing has taken place, and that trespassing has taken place on the properties of a very vulnerable but also high-profile Nigerian person, Wole Soyinka. So that in itself is a crime. But then, of course, who born the police officer well that will arrest the Fulani man, especially a Yoruba-sounding police officer arrest a Fulani man? So they then said that the DPO then ran down to be doing on the spot assessment and to go and see what has happened. After the Fulani boy has been and gone, you are going there to do whatever it is that you are doing. If that boy had the intent to do anything to the prof, the boy would have done it and he would have disappeared into the bushes, because these people, of course, know the bushes like the back of their hand. Once he enters into a bush, that is the end of it. The next thing you know, he's in Burkina Faso, Niger Republic, wherever, and that is the end of the matter. Unknown soldier, unknown Fulani man, etc. We all know the narrative within the Nigerian space. But the level of security around Wole Soyinka is what is being highlighted here. And that was the first thought that I had when I came across this narrative, that how can it be the case that this can happen with such relative ease? But then, of course, the professor because of course Professor Wole Soyinka is a man in his 80s. So what is he still afraid of is the question. He has achieved all there is to achieve for himself in life. He's a father, grandfather, great-grandfather, noted playwright, celebrated in his profession. He's at the highest echelons of playwright. Is the equivalent of William Shakespeare, etc. There's an argument to be had there. He's studied and recognized globally. So he's done as much as he can on this planet. So at 85, 80, whatever he is, Wole Soyinka, he cannot then see some Fulani boy rollicking down the road trying to be menacing, and then somebody like Wole Soyinka would cower at the sight of that. Of course not. The prof, of course, puffed his chest out and say, boy, be gone with you and get off my land. And if I have to say that again, you will get a flogging. And that was exactly what the professor said. Well, in more ways than one. Of course, I'm not quoting him verbatim, but in more ways than one, get off my land or you will get a flogging was the response of the prof to seeing this miscreant on his property. And then the police are strolling in 2 hours later to say that they have rushed to the scene and they have established that there's no cause for concern. Cause for concern, of course, the prof having to have an encounter with the Fulani Herdsman, especially in this climate that we're in at the moment. Come share thoughts about all this with me in the comment section. But before you come into the comment section to engage, click on the red subscribe button so it turns gray. Bell button notifies you every time I drop a new video. Click on like as well because that helps with YouTube algorithm. Once you've done all the clickings, the relative ease that this encounter took place, it bothers me. Does it you? So I'll leave you here. Carry this conversation up with you in the comment section. But here I say peace.